Ahoy there, my gorgeous love nuggets. Sounded better in my head. Welcome back to the James Lawrence Allcott channel. Hope you're doing very, very well. It's time to get ourselves ready for deadline day because it's approaching. So I'm going to put forward one deadline day signing for every Premier League club. Now, I was on Saturday Social and we put forward some names on that, but these are all fresh names. That's right. So there's some new players that you probably won't know much about, but you will do after this. If you enjoy this video by the end of it, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button. Let's put a target on this one. 4,000. Can you do it? Hit the button. Let's begin. Fulham, Mats Pfeiffer. At the start of the window, we put forward Harry Winks, but Mats Pfeiffer could be an excellent rotation option with Harrison Reed, who's actually really, really impressed so far this season. So I think he's being slept on a little bit, Pfeiffer. He's a 22-year-old at AZ Alkmaar at the moment. And in terms of that double pivot that Fulham want to play this season, I think he'd be a really, really good option. 6'2". You put him alongside Palhinha. Got some real size in that midfield there. Scored 4 goals and assisted 5 last season and was just a brilliant ball winner in the centre. So a good option for Fulham and in an area that they need to strengthen. Chelsea, and I'm going to go with Sergino Dest. But there has been a love affair. Love affair? Actually, I think they probably hate each other. Love-hate relationship between Chelsea and Barcelona this year. And that is an area where they're looking to strengthen. Look, Fofana would be amazing. Dumfries would be amazing as well. But if you want someone who's kind of an option to be a backup, but also someone who's not going to cost an outrageous amount of money, I would hope, you've got someone in Dest that I think Barcelona would obviously want to sell because the way they're playing, first of all, there's a lot of competition in that right-back spot. The second one is that they're playing with this elbow system, which effectively means that there's no real use for an attacking right wing back. I guess the one question for Chelsea fans is if you're having Reece James as a right-sided centre-back, but he's been able to bomb on like he has with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, do you want more of a Ruben Loftus-Cheek upgrade or do you want an out-and-out right wing back? Because at the moment, that's the backup that they don't have, and that's why I'm putting forward Dest. It's fascinating, isn't it? The transfer window, making the right investment. Isn't that right, James? This is the perfect video for today's sponsors, the beautiful people at Lightyear. Now, the team at Lightyear know that investing can be intimidating, so what they've done is they've put together a gorgeous little platform that will allow international investing to be seamless for you guys, offering a multi-currency account that will allow us all to become shareholders and investors. Now, the idea of investing for a lot of people is incredibly intimidating, so what's great about Lightyear is the fact that you can spend just £1, as little as £1, investing in the biggest companies in the world to get a slice of that pie. Because Lightyear are the lowest cost investment platform in the UK. With a conversion fee of just 0.35% on foreign exchange across Europe, users can make an unlimited number of commission-free trades each month. And Lightyear charges no commission for starting an account or trading in general. I think the important thing to say here is that Lightyear want you to do well. They want you to be good investors. With that in mind, they will share news and insights related to the shares and funds they have on offer. Onto the app itself, and the big aim for Lightyear is to take the intimidating out of investing. The app gives users all the data that they need to make informed decisions to be better investors. Lightyear is available right now and is available across 20 countries across Europe. Now, don't forget, of course, it's important for me to say that the value of your portfolio can decrease as well as increase, and your capital is at risk. But if you are looking to become an investor, you've got to start somewhere, and Lightyear is Europe's cheapest investment platform. And today's sponsor is Lightyear, allowing me to give you a $10 slice of a company of your choice. So just sign up using my code JAMES, link is in the description right now, and once you've made that first trade, your $10 will magically appear in your account. So if you're going to get started, start with Lightyear. It's Europe's cheapest investment platform. No trading fees, no account fees. The only fee that you will be charged will be that conversion rate of 0.35%. So massive thank you to Lightyear for supporting the channel, and go and get involved. Links in the description. Remember JT? Remember JT? Remember it? Remember JT? Now forget it. Forget him. JCT. That's the new one. Jean-Claire Todibo from Nice. Centre-back. He'd be perfect for Aston Villa. Carlos, of course, is injured, which is obviously heartbreaking for Aston Villa fans, and they need a centre-back who can go out into those wide areas, who've got that physicality, have got that pace, also great on the ball as well, and comfortable kind of getting the ball and then playing it out from the back. He would be a really good shout. I know Nice have got a bit of money right now, but the allure of the Premier League, and Villa aren't shy of spending money as well, he would be a really good option for Steven Gerrard. Nottingham Forest, they need themselves a tidy centre-back. Be it the central of the three or the right side. Now, Forest, of course, have made so many signings, but Steve Cook, I'm not sure. I'll be honest. Joe Worrell, I'm not sure. I like McKenna, and I think he's okay on that left-hand side. You've got Niakate, who's just come in, struggling with injuries a little bit at this moment in time. So maybe one more. And when you're thinking of a centre-back, you want someone with a lion heart. And this guy, that's his second name. Philipp Lionheart, Austrian centre-back, very, very tidy on the ball, 26 years old. He would come in and could play in the middle, can play on the right-hand side, as I said. Makes very few mistakes, comfortable on the ball, and can play sort of a sweeping position as well if Steve Cooper wants that. Manchester City, and someone who I guess you probably wouldn't think we would put forward, but we're going to, because it's a KDB understudy. And it's Lovro Mayer. Now, he plays for Stade Rennais, 24, last season 21 games, 6 goals, 8 assists, and he was in the top 14% in terms of pressures per 90, which will be important to Pep Guardiola. Really, really technical player, really, really creative player, and if you go and have a look at his heat maps on SofaScore, you can see that he kind of plays in that very similar area to Kevin De Bruyne, who is playing more like a 10 this year because of Erling Haaland. And I just think as someone who's obviously not going to push KDB out of the team, but someone who could be a good understudy for when you want to safeguard KDB, Lovro Mayer might be that option. Right, Leeds United, work hard, play hard. Jonathan Burkhardt, that's who we're putting forward. He's a striker from Mainz. The thing about him is it's all about pressures, isn't it? Work hard, play hard, Burkhardt. And with Jesse Marsch in his system, you've got someone who last season 15.8 pressures per 90. Prior to that, he was in the early 20s when it came to pressures per 90. So he would be someone that could kind of come in, hit the ground running straight away, quite literally, and know what to do in terms of that pressing system that Jesse Marsch wants to put forward. Also, of course, can score a goal, get himself in the penalty box. Got 11 goals last season. Would you like those numbers to be higher? Of course you would. But in terms of someone who can come straight in, who's 22 and can grow and develop and probably won't cost too much, Burkhardt's a good option. Brentford. Now, Brentford fans, talk to me, or any football fan, talk to me. I wanted to find a striker, a backup striker, but I kind of struggled to find someone that would work. So I've gone with a left wing back. The reason for that is that with Rico Henry, who can at times have problems with injury, I think if you lose one of those guys, him and Hickey, hey Hickey, then it's gonna impact the team in terms of the balance of the team, and I just think that's really important. So to have that backup, and Guy Smal, who is a 24-year-old left wing back for FC Twente, very tidy on the ball, kind of similar numbers to Rico Henry actually, 1.2 key passes per 90. I think he would be a really decent backup. I know Hickey, get it, can play left back or right wing back, but you can allow him to stay there, enjoy that side, get used to that side more and more, and allow our boy Smal to tuck in when needed. Tottenham, Lorenzo Pellegrini, it's a stretch, but if you can get him, wow. Because that is the one thing that Tottenham are missing right now. Roma's number 10. Is he number 10? I don't know if he is their number 10. Maybe he is their number 10. Can I just check if he's their number 10? Number 7. But he plays a number 10 role, and that's kind of the one thing that Spurs are missing at the moment. He's registering 5.747 shot creating actions per 90, which is mental. In the last 12 months, that puts him in the top 3% for attacking midfielders. Now, look, we know Kane's play style, but I think it's just the one thing that when I look at that midfield for Spurs, and I think that in the Chelsea game it felt quite glaring at times, is that if you stopped the two in midfield in Bentancur and Højbjerg, they were then struggling that little bit. So this guy could be a game changer for Tottenham. Again, offer just a different answer, a different option to Spurs for a squad that's been built really, really well over the summer. West Ham United, who've had a very, very good transfer window, but they don't have any cover for Jared Bowen. And I think to have someone who can dribble the ball, drive aggressively, and just has some of those similar elements, that maybe that Adama Traore vibe to him, Jeremy Doku at Stade Rennais. A lot of people kind of forgotten about him. Young player. He's only 20 years old. And you might remember him from, I think it was the World Cup, or was it the Euros last year against Italy. That's it. The Euros against Italy last year, where he came on and made an unbelievable cameo. He was so impressive in that game. So you might remember him from that. But really direct, plays on that right wing, has that ability to create something from very little. And I think he's a player that someone like JaackMaate would love to play with. Crystal Palace, Kefren Thuram. Yep, you've heard that name before. Lilian Thuram's son, this is. He's a 21-year-old at Nice. Now, Palace, they've got their 10 in Eze. Oh, God, and you've got Decore, amazing signing at the base of it all. But an elite 8, or an 8 that can grow into being elite, would be really useful for them. There are other options, of course, as well. But I think this is a good one. You know, he's one who's kind of combative. And yes, there's been a lot of headlines for him just because he's Lilian Thuram's son. But he's also just super talented. Able to win the ball, drive with the ball as well, make those sort of lung-bursting runs as well. And I think could fill in the gaps around Eze and Decore. Right, now I want to kind of put Joel Perreault forward for Everton, but I'm not. That will be later in the video. So I'm going to put forward 2 just to make up for it. First of all, Ludovic Ayorke is a striker for Strasbourg, 6'6". Last season, he scored 12 goals, also provided 8 assists as well. He would allow you to play him or Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and if Dominic Calvert-Lewin is injured, you can play him, and it's a similar playing style, but he's an upgrade on someone like Rondon. Wins 55% of his aerial duels. As I say, he was able to score goals, and at 28, he's not a kid. He's coming in, and he's going to be wanting to offer up the best that he can provide. The other one that is maybe feels a little bit more risky, but not in my mind, is Gyökeres from Coventry, Victor Gyökeres. I love him. I think he's such a great player, such a great complete striker in terms of having the physicality, the hard work. Not exactly like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but kind of close. Scored 17 goals for them last year as well. So Victor Gyökeres is the second option, but Everton need a striker, obviously. Bournemouth, Daniel Munoz, Colombian right wing back from Genk. Played really well last season for them. Perfect right wing back in a team that's going to play a back 3, which seems, it's bang on. That's what Scott Parker's going to do this season. 26, so he's good to go, if you know what I mean. It's not one where, okay, he's coming into the Premier League. Is he going to be good enough? I guess there's always that question mark with him, but he's someone who you can go and get, who's got real quality, can come in and take up that right wing-back role. Great delivery on him. Really sweet delivery. And at 6 foot tall, he's got a bit of size about him as well. Brighton, Raphael Borri. I mean, how many strikers can we put forward over the years on this channel in terms of Brighton stepping up in that regard? But they always find a way to create chances. It is always the one where they totally take it. I think they have got better over the years. And I've got to say, Danny Welbeck has been fantastic this season so far. Hopefully he's still fit when this video goes out. But if you do want an upgrade, Raphael Borri is a good shout. Eintracht Frankfurt scored a lot of goals. If you were watching Europa League last season for them, he scored 4 goals on the way to the final. 6 foot frame for them, and would be sort of mobile enough, but also provide that size to be that Welbeck upgrade. I say that tentatively, but it does always feel like the striker position's an area where Brighton can strengthen, and he is a goal scorer. Wolves. Now, Wolves might have signed a striker, but if they haven't signed this guy, then they've got it wrong. All right. I know he's 30 years old, but Mehdi Taremi would be fantastic for Wolves. Obviously, Jimenez having his problems with injuries right now, but this is a guy who at Porto, you will have seen him in the Champions League, of course, 20 goals last season, 12 assists as Porto stormed the league. What I like about this is those 12 assists because, 20 goals is nice as well. But the fact that this is someone who can link up with the likes of Pedro Neto, the likes of Guedes as well, who's just come through the door, and also that kind of connection with someone who's played Portuguese football, I think will make him acclimatised to Wolverhampton a little bit quicker. And I think he's someone that I'm surprised no one's gone for previously. Maybe it's due to the fact that he's getting a bit longer in the tooth, but he would be a great striker for any Premier League side. Now, a little bit earlier, I said that Joel Perreault was in one of these teams. I've now realised that that's one of my Saturday social picks, but I'll say it again because the other option is someone who, again, is up for grabs right now and might have moved on by the time we've recorded. So here's 2 for you if you're a Southampton fan. First, Joel Perreault. I'd like to see him play for you guys. I think he'd be a really good fit for them. I just think he's of the right age, scored goals, has a bit of real flexibility about him in terms of the ability to play in different positions, come and get the ball as well. Might be a bit of a kind of a target man, but a bit of a pivot for them. But here's the other one, Ismaila Sarr. Ismaila Sarr would be something that Southampton just don't have. In terms of a team that wants to play kind of vertically, plays in that 4-2-2-2. him and Sekou could be really, really good fun together. I think he's got that ability to finish, and they could combine really, really well if they could get their hands on him. Manchester United, Moussa Dembele. I think he'd be a really, really good option for Ten Hag, and I think someone is going to take him in the next few days. I really hope that this hasn't happened by the time that this goes out. Moussa Dembele of Lyon, 26 years old, scored 21 goals last season, and he's got a bit of everything that Ten Hag will probably need as a striker. 6 foot tall, can sort of win headers, be physical, but also short passing's great. 75.6% pass accuracy in terms of short passing last year. He's also just refused a new contract at Lyon, so you might be able to get him at a better price to the overpaying that Man United seem to have been doing over the last 6 years, let's be honest. But he wouldn't be limited to just a battering ram. He's got that little bit of subtlety and is one of the best options when it comes to out-and-out strikers in the market right now. Newcastle United, Nicolas Dominguez would be a really, really good 6 in the Newcastle system. I know you've got Jonjo Shelvey. I know Bruno Guimaraes can play in that position. But I want Bruno to have as much fun as he possibly can. And I think in the 8 position, that's where you'll get that. If you can get yourself a 6 who can kind of be aggressive at times, but is also technical enough to get on the ball. And Nicolas Dominguez is exactly that guy, 24 years old as well, so fits that profile brilliantly as well. And just to have a bit more depth in that midfield to allow Bruno to go. So you have Bruno, Joelinton with all that hard work, that creativity of Bruno, and Dominguez sitting as a 6 would make it for a, I think, very, very impressive and mobile Newcastle midfield 3. Leicester City, they need a right winger. We said at the start of the window, obviously nothing's changed because Leicester City haven't really signed anyone at the time of recording. And Lyle Abada from Celtic, calm down Celtic fans, don't get angry at me, 20-year-old winger from Israel would be a really good shout. Now, obviously, it would cost a certain amount. Do you want to lose him? 10 goals in the SPL last season. Looks like a natural goal scorer. Sort of speedy, fleet-footed kind of player. And as I say, a right winger is exactly what Leicester City need right now. Offers goals as well as being dynamic. So will he want to leave Celtic when he's got Champions League football on the horizon? I don't know. But move to the Premier League for someone who I think, be it Celtic or with another team, will be a Champions League regular sooner rather than later, would be a great buy for Leicester City. Arsenal, Nico Barella. Oh my God. Arsenal become title challengers if they get this guy. He would add depth, he would add quality. And look, Arsenal are looking pretty good at the moment. But what I would say is that in that 8 position, be it the World Cup taking its toll, Europa League, injuries, fixture congestion, they could do with a bit more depth in that position, I've got to be honest. And so someone who could come in and do what Barella does would be pretty special for Arsenal. Feels a little bit unrealistic, if I'm honest, but it was the player that we wanted to put forward. 5.74 progressive passes alongside 6.56 progressive carries over the last 12 months per 90, of course, means that he would be a perfect asset for Arteta's side. Liverpool. Now, there are quite a few options that they're having a look at the moment, but let's go with someone a little bit different because that's what Liverpool do a lot of the time, and it's Otavio of Porto. Now, he's an attacking player, but the thing is with Porto, they play such a narrow system. He's kind of turned himself into a bit of a midfielder, but would offer something really, really fresh as left-sided centre midfielder for Liverpool, who kind of needs some new faces in that midfield for sure. Last season, he created 17 big chances. And if you think about Liverpool's midfield 3, which again can be quite narrow at times, it isn't about getting wide. To have someone with that attacking sensibility to play in that area could be a real find for Liverpool. So there you have it, my gorgeous love nuggets. Yep, he's doubled down. If you are a love nugget and you love this channel, hit the subscribe button. Let's hit that like target of 4,000 likes as well by hitting the like button. And hit the notification bell as well. I'll see you in the next one.